your spot, sure don't stop. It's a long season. They planning on winning for the wrong reasons. Trying to get my number retired. Can't let these frauds beat us. I figured out the recipe. Never let opponents get the best of me. I'm focused on my legacy.
Big chips, man, I need that. Hustle hard on the job, you can see that. When my hit is real good, we don't need your feedback. They clear the way when my crew coming through. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Now what?
From a city that's played host to 10 Super Bowls, here's a look inside the Mercedes-Benz Superdome in New Orleans. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the New Orleans Saints. It's a short kick, taking it to 15. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33.
Here we go. Watch the pass. Hey.
Out of the gun, Stafford. And his first pass is incomplete.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it. Sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. Second and 10 from the 33-yard line.
Drill right, 22. Watch it.
A carry for Devontae Freeman, who missed most of last season. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for third down.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
An early test for this defense. Here we go on 3rd and inches. They run. Devontae Freeman. And he's got a first down as he's up to the 48. Give him 6 yards in the first down. Defense had a chance to get off the field here on the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important third down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
On 1st and 10, Stafford. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. Back to the air. Stafford on 2nd down. Looking deep downfield. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Brandon Carr. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
The Saints take over 1st and 10 at their own 7-yard line.
This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. And they'll hit him for a loss as he's back to his 2-yard line. A full 5-yard loss that time. It's going to make second down pretty tough. So backed up closer to the danger zone here from the 2. This is second and long. Got to be careful here. Dalton. It's complete to Chris Conley. And he'll get it up to the 12-yard line here. They'll wind up getting 10 back there as it'll leave them with a 3rd and 5.
Hands up, please. Let's go, defense. Hey, man up, D. Man up, D.
Third down from the gun. Dalton escaping the pressure right. Now he's hit, and Dalton lost the football. And it's picked up by the Buccaneers. And he returns it to the end zone. A fumble recovery touchdown for the Bucs. So the big fella gets on the scoreboard with a return for a touchdown. Good thing he didn't have to go too far, though.
You know the trainers were very happy about that. Imagine having to go get him in the end zone, escort him to the bench, and give him the oxygen. They were loving the fact that he got in without having to run very far.
Bryant's extra point up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. So here's the kickoff now as he'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. This will be taken to the back of the end zone.
The Saints take over
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
at their own 25-yard line.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And that last possession, really a gut punch. You seemingly had it working. You were in the midst of a very strong drive, then suddenly the fumble, and you're watching the back of a defender's jersey as he brings it all the way in the other direction.
There's not much more I can add to that. I thought you summarized it perfectly, partner. You just got to regroup and start putting another drive together. That's all you can do.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Hey. Come on, D. Check.
Now it's Carson, and he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32.
Partner, you know I love to point out when teams break tendency and do something a little bit different from the norm. But when you run the ball in the first play of the drive, that's not a tendency breaker at all. That's just trying to establish yourself as you move forward.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Here's Dalton. That's complete into the hands of Carson. We'll call it luck or skill, whatever the case is. They're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. I mean, they don't care if it was luck or skill. Boy, the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground, whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you retain possession, that's all you're looking for.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
As tight ends go, he might not provide the super flashy plays very often, but he's pretty reliable, usually an excellent target, and normally catches what's thrown to him, but he didn't on that play.
So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go, ball on the 43.
Bravo. Right over there. Yeah. Mike, 58, right there.
To throw again, Dalton. And he fires one incomplete. Jimmy Graham, the intended receiver. 3rd down here.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
And he's taken down down, trying to do a little too much, getting outside of the pocket, and it results in a sack. Give the sack to Aaron Lynch, the former USF Bull. So on fourth down, here's Chris Jones to punt it away. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. And great special teams work here. This is knocking on the door of the 5. They'll spot it at the 6-yard line.
Well, someone's going to be happy with that effort. And you know who else is going to be happy? His defense.
Absolutely.
He's created a very long field for that offense to try to traverse.
And he got some help from Mr. Football there, checking up nicely. Good English on that punt. The drive will start with a carry by Devontae Freeman. That really sets him back. A loss of 6.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Ready, 180. Watch the run, watch the run. This shot, baby, that's a baby shot.
Now on 2nd and 16. Stafford, he's got Freeman here. It's complete. And he'll take this one up. About the 6-yard line.
5 yards on the play. And it's 3rd down.
And for the Saints here on 3rd down, an extra defensive back on the field.
Check 52.
Just beating the play clock. Stafford. That's into the hands of the tight end, Boyle. And they'll mark him down right around the 9, just shy of the 10. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down. Here comes the Buccaneers punter now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Now it's Crowder. And take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. On 1st down, it's Carson. The 20. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. 36 yards on the play.
Good, strong, which means you've got to control those defensive linemen, the defensive tackles, the nose guards. Those guys have to be controlled. How about the offensive line, the job they just did?
Yeah, key that A-gap usually. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off down near the 5. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of 1st downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 1st downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
And he's got Rome. 31 yards there and a 1st down.
A gain of 31 yards. And a Buccaneer 1st down.
Now this will probably be the last play of the quarter. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. 2nd quarter now, and it's Buccaneer football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Throwing is Stafford. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Tight end has become a bigger and bigger part of the passing game in the NFL, but if you drop the football, that position can get swapped out with a wide receiver in that spot or running back in that spot. There are other ways they can go if you're not going to catch the ball.
And that's not just his first drop, his second drop of the game. Off of play action, here's Stafford. Oh, nearly picked. And maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop many defensively. 3rd down.
Charles, he doesn't seem to be particularly in tune with his receivers, just 2 for 7 throwing the football, but he did seem really locked in before the game.
Yeah, and that has to do with receivers sometimes. Sometimes the defenders knock them off their routes, and you're usually pretty precise. 1, 2, 3 cut, balls out of his hands to the receiver. In this case, might be off by a half step either way. They've got to find a way to get back in sync.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
53, ready.
From the gun, here's Stafford. And the throw there going to be incomplete. More problems here on 3rd down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on 3rd down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
This is taken around the 12. A great return there, bobbing and weaving his way for 31 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
On 2nd and 9, Dalton. And that one was nearly picked. Not sure he was accounting for the free safety. Now it brings up 3rd down.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. Passing, it's Dalton. He's going to go deep for Conley. And unable to connect, incomplete. Now, give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
And what did we talk with them about prior to the game? Their ability to move the chains, pick up first downs. So far, 0 for 3 on 3rd down. If that continues, they'll have little chance of winning this one.
Amazing, perfectly placed. If that ball goes 1 extra yard, maybe not even an extra yard, the starting point is the 20.
So there is a reason that a lot of punters are also excellent golfers. They know distance control. You know what else they have? Same groove motion over and over. Once they have that down, it repeats under pressure.
They'll run with Freeman here to begin the drive. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Out of the gun, they give to Freeman. Oh, and he's not going to make it out of the end zone. The push too strong, and that'll be a safety. And, Charles, at some point, you can't keep worrying about big play. Can this be perfect? You just have to get the ball out of the end zone.
And in the offensive huddle, that was discussed when they called the play. Just get out of it.
And he lost the football, and it's picked up by the Buccaneers. And he will score. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. A big play there. His first touchdown on the year as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead. Bryant tacks on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return.
The Saints take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Throwing, Dalton. Finding his target, it's Cody Latimer. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one good for 26 and a first down.
First and 10 at the 46-yard line.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. This is Carson. Pass. There he goes, right side. Touchdown, New Orleans. Chris Carson, his 2nd touchdown on the season, as his guys are back within a single score. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And last time they surrendered to safety, we know they don't want to do that again.
That is just one of those oddities in scoring that we get. And it's just so strange to see that go up on the board. And then you got to make sure that that doesn't happen to your team again. They've got to take care of the ball.
But, boy, it juices up the defense.
Oh, without a doubt. That's a great way to score some points.
And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. That's good for a Buccaneer first, a pickup of 12 yards. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Here's Stafford. They'll set up the screen for Freeman. A good pickup there at 22.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it, because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
Here's Stafford. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Let's go, D, let's go. Hey, let's get there. Undercrush, undercrush, undercrush.
Throwing again. Stafford. Looking left side. He's got it. Complete. A short gain of just over 2 yards as the first half clock dips inside of 3 minutes.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Throwing on third down, Stafford. And that's knocked away and incomplete.
And I feel like my man, Old Mo, momentum might be changing jerseys right now. How about what they just got done? They scored a touchdown their last drive. Now here's a 3 and out. Maybe momentum's getting ready to creep to the other sideline.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And a great job on special teams to down it, as this will be marked out inside the 5-yard line.
Absolutely love the flexibility of these punters. Their leg drive, able to get it way up in the air, and that allows their punt team to get down there and down it inside the 10 because they've had some time.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And they begin this drive in very precarious field position inside their own 5.
And remember, this is a defense that's already scored once in this game, so you've got to really take care and make sure that you're blocking these guys and trying to wedge the ball out from the shadow of your own end zone.
They'll start out here with a jet sweep. And he'll get it up a little shy of the 15. They'll spot him down at the 14-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And able to get it across the 20 before they get to it. It's a first down on a gain of 10.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
On first and 10, here's Andy Dalton. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Aaron Lynch able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
After the sack on first down, Dalton, and he gets it complete to Latimer. A big gain there after going backwards, and that'll lead to a third down. Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play off or make sure you're somehow in contact with him. And he's able to do exactly what you said. Use the speed to his advantage and go up and get the football. That's a big-time play right there.
They had the catch on second down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at third down here.
Check that. 368.
Here's Dalton. And able to find Conley. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. Give him 6 yards, and they do convert on third.
Did you see that route the way that I did? I thought he was trying to get deep.
Yeah, that
first.
wasn't the first option.
No, it came off of that guy, the deep guy, and came underneath on the drag, completed it very well.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on first and 10. From the gun, Dalton looks to throw. It's brought in by Jamison Crowder. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
Saints, first down.
Nice completion there for Andy Dalton. Charles, you worked some of his games when he was at TCU. Now you've worked his games in the NFL. What progression have you seen?
I've seen a guy who took over as a freshman in college and got better and better each year. Always added a little bit more to his game, gets stronger. But the best part about him is he's always been accurate.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. To throw again. Dalton. And that will be incomplete with a clock showing 18 seconds now to go.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10.
52, 93, 44, 44. There you go. Right over there. Yeah. Mike.
This will be Dalton again. He's got the hook up with Conley. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. 14 yards is the pickup. First down, New Orleans. Andy Dalton now 9 of 16 through the air as he's got it 1st and 10. And it'll be Dalton again. They'll run the screen with Carson. And some room to roam now. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
Here we go, Cam.
The final act of the first half, Dalton. And he's got it. Touchdown, Saints. Jimmy Graham in the final seconds of the first half. And the Saints have taken the lead. Point after by Lambeau, up and good. And the lead is now 2. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. An incredibly short kick fielded way up there. So we have reached halftime here in a tight 2-point contest. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. Set now to go for the 3rd quarter. The Saints have the lead and set to receive the kick. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
On 2nd and 11 now. Dalton caught here by Conley. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Give them 14 on that one and a first down.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Coming, baby. I'm coming, baby.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. The Saints first down there on a gain of 11. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
In your face.
On 2nd and 11 now. Dalton. And he rifles one incomplete. He was looking for Jamison Crowder there. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down. By the way, I got to apologize because I just realized for about the last 4 or 5 plays, I'm eking over into your territory up here in the booth. My bad. I'm going to get back over to my spot.
Yeah, and we're not talking about our on-air commentary. I mean, what is all this extra paper? I mean, this is unusual for you.
My bad.
Normally you run a really tight ship. What's going on here?
Just like that incomplete pass, I'm going to try to tighten things up here for this next play. 3rd down, a shot here for Dalton. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Brianne Bonnie Calhoun. And they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone. And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working and call more of that. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
I'm going to come back to you. I'm going to come back to you.
A shotgun snap for Stafford. He's going to find his tight end, Boyle. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards.
Kill, kill, kill. Turn up. Kill, kill, kill. Turn up. Zero. Slap.
On 1st down, it's Stafford. Incomplete. This is Albert Wilson. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
And once more, this play going in the wrong direction. The Saints get to him behind the line again.
It's a loss of a yard, and it's 3rd down.
Set. 280. Mike is 59. Mike is 59. Watch the pass.
From the gun on 3rd down, Stafford. Eluding the pressure right. And he completes it to Wilson. 17 yards on the play and a Buccaneer 1st down.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
11. Check 24. Check 24.
From the red zone now, Stafford. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. Amari Cooper, the intended target. And it's 2nd down.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss it? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
A good job defensively to hold that to 4 yards, and now it's 3rd down.
In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed. But all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it.
And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. Amari Cooper, his second touchdown on the season. And the Bucs are going to retake the lead. Bryant's extra point up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. And after the touchdown, here's Bryant now to kick it away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Saints take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Anthony Barr comes rumbling in for the sack.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. Here's a throw right side taken in by his tight end. That one covers 24 yards. It's a 1st down.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
Yeah, interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. They'll run on 1st down. Carson. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 12 yards there, good for a Saints 1st down.
And that last carry puts him right at 100 yards for the game. So how has he done it? Because he's been patient, followed his blocks, let everything develop, and then burst through for big gains.
A 1st down throw coming for Dalton. And this is going to be incomplete.
So many offenses want to include their running backs into their passing offense and be able to swing the ball out or check it down to them. But sometimes those guys are just not as comfortable catching the ball as they are running it.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down.
Let's go, D. It's going to be a long day, offense. It's going to be a long day.
Throwing again. Dalton. Now they go screen. It's complete. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And it's going to be 3rd down and a ways to go here, 3rd and 14.
Move. 55, 955. Hey, wahoo. Check tight.
Dalton here from the gun. That's complete into the hands of Carson. Yeah, he will go out right near the 35-yard line. Back now here live in New Orleans. It's the Saints who hold the football, but they're trailing as we begin the 4th quarter of play. Andy Dalton now perfect since the 2nd half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. 14 yards is the pickup. 1st down, New Orleans.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. Dalton, 1st and 10. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid gain.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch. Good for 8 yards. Here's Dalton. On the catch, it's Crowder. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown, and that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal. Dalton now to pass. Steps away to his left. Now he'll pull it down. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. 2nd and goal from inside the 5.
Hey, Foxtrot, hands up.
Throwing, Dalton. And he's got him. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Chris Carson, his 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Saints have retaken the lead. Here we go now as we get set for a big 2-point conversion.
Here we go.
It'll be Carson. They run for it. And he will dive into the end zone, and the 2-point conversion is successful. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. Now a hit and a loose football. And a terrific return as he takes this thing all the way down near the 20-yard line. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Well, those two have hooked up for a touchdown once already in this game, that time unable to find the completion.
Yeah, it just appeared they wanted to get him out into open space and try and get him the football. As you mentioned, unable to connect.
On 2nd down, it's Carson. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Credit the tackle there to Aaron Lynch.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now, to stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key 3rd down. Highlight that word. Put it in bold. Here we go. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Out of the gun, it's Dalton. And he's got it. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Andy Dalton with his 3rd touchdown pass of the game. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. Extra point tacked on by Lambeau. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They might have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. To throw again. Stafford. Letting one fly deep for Cooper. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked by Tracy Walker. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball. And I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdown.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. That's Luke Kuechly with a sack.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. Dalton hovering near the goal line. And the most curious way there to burn some clock. That was wild. And at the end of all that, it winds up a safety. All right, Charles, help me out here. Fourth quarter, you've got the lead, and you run backwards into the end zone. You're just trying to do too much.
I almost don't have words for it. But, you know, every coach that we talk to talks about running backs or people running the football, running north-south, getting upfield. He went way in the opposite direction, and that's going to cost his team.
Yeah, it cost him big time. Still leading, but it costs him. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. After the interception, here's Stafford. Rashard Matthews here on the catch. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 25 yards that time. From the gun, here's Stafford. He's got a man complete. It's Amari Cooper. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up 2nd down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. Here's Stafford. He finds Matthews. And this is going to be another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 22-yard line.
A gain of 21 yards.
Set, lady.
1st down, Buccaneers.
On 1st down, Stafford here. Open is Powell. That's complete. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 10 yards there and a Buccaneer 1st down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Stafford going to come up 1st and 10, and he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Stafford looks to throw again. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down.
So this is what happens when you throw interceptions. That confident veneer that you have gets chipped away a little bit. Maybe a little bit gun-shy throwing it around.
Yeah, underthrowing him there, and you're right. Those interceptions may be in the back of his mind. On 2nd and 10, Stafford. Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19. Leonard Williams, the former number 6 overall pick, got the sack that time. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. They face a critical third down now, needing a score here in the late going.
58 to Mike, 58 to Mike. Come to my work. We want it. Come to my work. Check 37. And middle.
The shotgun snap for Stafford. And that is incomplete. Figuring they're going for it on fourth down. Remember, though, they do have all 3 timeouts, so even if they don't get it, all is not lost.
Yeah, normally in this situation, when you're talking about having to go for it, everything is in this play. But as you noted, with those 3 timeouts, they actually have a little bit of a...
One score down, here we go. They're going to go for it here on fourth down.
Hey. He's coming in motion. Hey. 58. Hey, 70. Mike, 58, right there. Cut it high.
Here we go on fourth. Stafford. And no, it's incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Saints will have the football back. So a tough pill to swallow there. A would-be touchdown pass in and out of his hands on fourth.
Sometimes it just comes down to execution, doesn't it? Because we're always questioning, should they go for it, should they not? Is it the right play call, is it not? In this situation, everything was right except for the finish. You have to catch the ball and convert.
And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Now a give right side. Carson. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards.
Hands up. Lead. That's right, baby. Watch this. Watch twist. 368. Stop.
Dalton wants to throw. And he finds his tight end, Graham. The catch and run, good for 18 and a first down. Well, clear running situation, trying to take time off the clock. He ran the previous play, set that play action up nicely.
Boy, did they ever, because they had shown the ability to run the football. So now you lose your keys as a defense. You dive for the running play, and they hit them over the top.
On first down, it's Carson. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as it comes with 1:04 left to go in the game. Second and long, but you got to figure this almost certainly another run. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Carson. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. The Bucs forced to use their third and final timeout as they'll get it with just a shade under a minute to go in the game. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Big spot. Andy Dalton. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that's caught inside the 35. And he gets this down deep into Tampa Bay territory. A big gain there, and that should certainly be enough to put this one in the win column.
First and 10 at the 11-yard line.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. Dalton down to a knee, and that'll be all she wrote. And that knee will do it. So they snap the losing streak. Always a good feeling.
Yeah, I don't know if this one right here when they're taking a knee is as much exultation as exhalation, right? They just breathed a sigh of relief. Finally got a win, needed one desperately.
So this one, a victory here for New Orleans. And it took a big fourth quarter to do it, but they were able to get the job done, and that's the bottom line.
No doubt about it. And let's face it, they had to be more than nervous in the fourth quarter. But a lot of that was their own doing. I think you observed during the game, their energy level just didn't seem to be there. But in the fourth quarter, somehow they dug deep and found that extra bit, right, that reserve tank. They hauled it out. Offense scored some points, defense held them, and lo and behold, they walk away with a win. Maybe expend a little more energy than they expected to, but they'll take it.
So for the Saints, they move back over 500 at 3-2 now on the year. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Meanwhile, for the Bucs, they'll fall to 1-4 with a loss. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.
S-T-R-O. Yeah. How many of y'all came to win? Oh, they asking my name, huh? You ready? S-T-R-O. I ain't come to play with you. Yeah. Life challenging, but I wouldn't trade with you. It's early, I'm up. Yeah. I can't spend the day with you. I'm minding my business. I ain't getting paid with you. My color bright. I ain't finna fade with you. Man, I gotta come clean like I made with you. I been on my everybody drop when I drop. Look at shorty, she support, bruh. Lifting up, never not on my grind. New York City time, another brother better, you will never find. I've been in my bag like groceries. Competition shouldn't take shots, take notes, please. Reporting live from the winning side. Ready to try, keep a different vibe. Is you down the ride, never tired. You will never know, you ain't never tried. Work it out, hit the gym, hit the field, hit the win. Hey yo, I need that. Big chips, man, I need that. Hustle hard, on the job, see that. On my hit is real good, we don't need your feedback. They clear the way with my crew coming through. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Now what I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Yeah. Beats, leave it in the street, case on the news.
What I do? Lace up my shoes, chase W's. Great colored coops. Oh no, I can't be number 2. MVP the league most valuable. They sweet as apple juice. Talking trophies, I done grabbed a few. Can't match this attitude. I wear my heart on my sleeve, please. I move like the wind, can't catch this breeze. Freeze. Stop you in your tracks. There's not no preseason. We seeking W's like Tupac used to throw up. Forget it, might as well forfeit. Your team shouldn't even show up. What you wanna be when you grow up? They used to ask me. Naturally, I chose an athlete. Competition never matched me. We ain't go together like camouflage and polka dots. Focus on your position, just know your spot. Sure, don't stop. It's a long season. They planning on winning for the wrong reasons. Trying to get my number retired. Can't let these frauds beat us. I figured out the recipe. Never let opponents get the best of me. I'm focused on my legacy.
I need that. Big chips, man, I need that. Hustle hard, on the job, you can see that. On my hit is real good, we don't need your feedback. They clear the way with my crew coming through. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Now what I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Yeah. Beats, leave it in the street, case on the news.